everyone. As you'll have noted in my video earlier on in the week, the two-parter, I'm actually going to be moving very soon. It's a couple of weeks really, 2 or 3 weeks. But I kind of promised that I was going to do a kind of like a look around the game setup that I've got. So this is basically the first part of that. Now these two cupboards here, I basically keep most of my kind of like current gen games and games that I'm playing. So I will I'll cut to the next section and we'll actually have a look at what I've got on the old shelves here. Yeah, as I say, I'm going to have to pack all this up at some point, and I really need to be doing it quite soon. So we'll go through what I've actually got on the shelves then. Okay then, bottom shelf here we've got, there we go, there's Games TN with the Dark Souls review in it. I really kind of quite like that, so I thought I'd hold on to it, and it'll go with the game and the actual guide that I've got for Dark Souls as well. This is a copy of Metal Gear Solid HD Limited Edition. This is a sealed copy. Basically my other copy got twatted. It's got a slightly torn front cover, so I'm either going to sell that or at some point down the line, or trade it. So I've got a replacement there. I really wanted a mint copy, which I did have initially, but it's just bloody annoying that the cat basically the cat knocked the package actually off the shelves themselves, so they dropped the full length of these shelves, and it got battered. So yeah, that's a replacement for that. So this bit I've got kind of there's various kind of books in here. There's all sorts, but I'll kind of go through some of the more interesting things. There we go. Art of Mass Effect, really good art book. I heartily recommend it if you're a fan of the series. I picked this up really cheap, but the artwork in there is very good. Let's see what else we've got in here. Oh yes, and there's a couple of interesting things in here, kind of game-wise. We've got a Art of Dead Space little booklet here. I think I've shown this on a video already. Yeah, never got a release in the UK really, except for as a promo item, basically at trade shows. So really happy to get that one. That was it's a really good little book, that one. It's got 3D glasses in it as well. And we've got Bioshock 2 Special Edition Guide. That one was quite cheap as well, but it's got some lovely kind of original artwork in there, so I tend to pick these up if I can at a good price really. And this is something I bought years and years ago. The Art of Metal Gear Solid 2, and I think I've shown that in a video as well. That's really kind of cool book. So I think there's the 300 graphic novel there. There's this book about manga. I'll just kind of like move on there. This is an interesting little item. This is, there we go. This is a series called Purgatory Kabuki, and it's by the guy, what's he called? It's called Tatsushi Suki, and he's the guy who does all the artwork for Ikaruga and kind of a few of the treasure games as well. But this is his kind of like, yeah, he's one of his there we go, one of his actual comic books there. Lots of lovely artwork in that one. Well worth picking this one up if you can do as well. You'll see certain similarities between this and the artwork that's that's in Ikaruga. There's a Street Fighter comic there as well, the original graphic novel. And there's a lot of Fist of the North Star stuff here actually that's quite expensive to pick those up now. There's a couple of shoot 'em up related things I want to show you here as well. There's the, what's that one? That's Dragon. Let's show you that one. So, Soul Calibur 2 playing guide. Big fan of the series. This was really cheap, and you get lots of lovely original artwork in there again. And there we go. Dragon Quest Journey of the Cursed King. That's a guide for that. I actually got that with the game itself. It was an eBay pickup where I basically got the game and the guide as well. It was only quite cheap. Another Soul Calibur related item. This one's quite unusual. It's the there we go, Soul Calibur 3 Famitsu Special. It's got playable demo on it. Again, lots of quite nice artwork in there. There's the actual disc itself. So yeah, it's basically a promo item really for the actual the game itself. And this one is a beauty. I'm really quite happy about this one. There we go. Picked this up a few years ago. It's the Trigger Heart Exelica art book. It's basically got quite a bit of, you know, kind of tactics, bit of kind of background of the game as well. There's a lot of artwork in there. Concept art. Yeah, it's a really cool art book, and it's getting increasingly more expensive to get this one as well. I think this cost me about 22 quid on import from Japan when I first got it, but fantastic art book. This is one that I quite like as well. There we go. Japanese only R-Type Final. It's an art book, and it's kind of it's similar to the Trigger Heart Exelica one. It's got a similar format. It's got stuff like overviews of the levels. It's got a guide to all the ships that are in there. There are 100 odd ships that are in the game, so it's got all that in it as well. Some staff stuff. Bosses. So all in all, a really lovely little, book there. Again, becoming increasingly more difficult to find. Still not the most expensive one you'll get, but yeah. Dark Souls guide there. Mass Effect 3 Collector's Guide as well. I think I've showed these in a few videos. So, let's go up to the next shelf, shall we? So this is probably the last shelf of standard stuff. It all gets a bit kind of special edition laden after this shelf. So I'll go through what I've got here. I'll just adjust the camera slightly so I can actually see what I'm showing you. So you might actually see my mug on there. Yeah, there we go. So these are all the Blu-rays that I've actually got. I've got quite a small Blu-ray collection. That's Blu-ray that I've actually borrowed off my mate, Star Wars Complete Saga, which is pretty essential watching. Just something out of interest here. There's DVD RAMs here as well that I used to actually record gameplay footage on, and a couple of trades there: Yakuza 3 and SimCity 2000. You'll have noticed this. I've showed this before. There we go. Tekken 6 Limited Edition. That's up there as well. That's got a hoodie in it. Really cool art book and a poster as well. But really quite battered box. One of my favourite special editions actually, but just a shame that it's so twide. And we've got a Mega Drive conversion cart there as well to play import games. And This is the actual case for my Asteroids watch. It's really quite cool actually. I've showed this on a video before as well. The actual plastic box it comes in, it's all kind of like it's got, there we go, it's got artwork from the actual arcade cabinet itself. And there's a few, yeah, I think there's a couple, yes, a couple limited editions on here. Fallout 3 Collector's Edition. Really, really fantastic set, that one. One that I'm really going to have to pack that one up very, very well so it doesn't get knackered. Splinter Cell Double Agent Special Edition as well. There's about 3 different ones of these, but this is the metal tin one. And here we've basically got a ton of the 360 games, just the regular pickups. There might be 1 or 2 limited editions in here, but this is generally where I keep, the majority of the games that I'm playing. I'll just quickly go through these, and then we'll kind of call this the end of part 1, really. Just because there's a ton of games here, and it's probably a good insight into most of my 360 collection. I think I've got about 200 games for the system. That's just a spare case. I use that for kind of like if I'm taking games around to my mate's house, limited editions, stuff like that. So we've got Marvel vs. Capcom 3 there, promo version. There is a bigger case for that, which I'll show you in the next video as well, because basically there's a case that goes around this. Cool game. And there we go. Deus Ex Augmented Edition. I've shown this in a video as well. Lovely special edition. Really, really cool. And again, two games I've showed quite recently. There we go. Dreamcast Collection, Guilty Gear Overture. No, Guilty Gear Overture. So it's Guilty Gear Part 2. Yeah. I'll get there eventually. Tekken 6, which we were looking at earlier. Fist of the North Star, Ken's Rage, what a game. Crisis 2, limited edition. Shadows of the Damned, bloody fun game, that one. I enjoyed that. Alice the Madness Returns, which I've started, which I again, I think that's quite cool, but not very far into it. Dynasty Warriors Gundam 3. It looks really, really good actually. I'm looking forward to playing that. Brink, which I've still not given any time, which I've heard shit, but it was £3. Street Fighter 4. I've got a special edition of that as well, which I'll show you in the next video. AC/DC Rock Band. What more can be said? It's Rock Band and AC/DC. Driver San Francisco. This is part of the limited edition as well, which I'll show you in another video. Oh, an absolute classic. Oblivion. And this is actually my brother's copy, which I've nicked off him. Ace Combat 6. Fires of Liberation. One I've still not played. Split Second, an absolute sleeper hit for me. It doesn't get a recognition it deserves. Really cool arcade racer. Viva Pinata Party Animals. It's a load of just kind of mini games really. Got that for the wife, and she wasn't that keen on it. Okay. I don't think I've actually done this. I don't think I've ever been through the whole collection before. I've got a few titles upstairs actually that I don't play that often, so it won't be a full 360 collection video, this one. Call of Duty Black Ops. Alright. Best Treyarch one actually. Yeah. I think. Halo 3 ODST, one I've not finished, thought it were a bit shit. Virtua Fighter 5. I actually quite like that.
Guitar Hero 3, probably the Guitar Hero I've played most out of the lot. Some really cool songs on that one. Samurai Showdown Sen. Yeah, bit shit. Only pick it up if you're a Samurai Showdown fan, really, and it's cheap. Table tennis, cool game. Never really kind of, got into it. It's quite tricky, actually. And Bullet Witch. Pretty kind of crappy, kind of Japanese shooting stroke slash 'em up. That's really quite dated, but it's still quite fun. For some reason, I really quite like it. Its kind of goofiness is quite endearing, I think. Call of Duty World at War, not bad. Shadow Warriors, Samurai Warriors 2 at Empires, which I kind of bought when I got into what was it now? When I got into the Dynasty Warriors game, whose name escapes me at the moment. I'll get back to that. I can't remember what it's called now. But I got a load of the Dynasty Warriors type games on the system. And Left 4 Dead 4, Left 4 Dead 1 even. Yeah, I'm kind of quite rambling now. Left 4 Dead, cool multiplayer game. I think the sequel's better, but it's alright. Oh, here we go. Now, Fight Night. I don't like sports games except for boxing games, and this was the first game that I played on the 360 where I thought that technically, the next generation was definitely here. Brilliant game. Dirt cheap, easy way to pick up 1,000 points as well. Conan, gory as fuck. Alright. It's not gonna change the world, but it's a slash 'em up. It's alright. 99 Nights. Another Japanese slash 'em up in the vein of Dynasty Warriors. It's quite good. Graphically, it's quite impressive, and it plays very much like Dynasty Warriors. So if you like that series, you'll like that too. Really nice cutscenes on that, actually. Forza Motorsport 2, pick that up cheap. Not that keen on it. Not a patch on the fourth one. Guitar Hero World Tour. Can't say I played that very much. But it was alright. Okay. So here we go. We've got Batman Arkham Asylum. What a game! Absolutely brilliant game. It's a good beat 'em up. It's a good scrolling. No, it's a good beat 'em up. It's a good stealth game as well, and fantastic kind of, I don't know, action adventure. It's got role playing elements in it as well, and kind of it's a very, very cool game. It's free. It's also sandbox. So great game, absolutely great game. Football Manager 2006. Played this a little bit. It's all right. It was dirt cheap. I think it cost me like 50p or something daft. Management games don't really work on consoles, and that doesn't kind of change my opinion of that really. And Xbox Live Arcade. I think that's the Japanese version. Yeah, it is. I got that with my Japanese Arcade 360. Half orange box. What a set! So many good games on that. It's worth the entry price for Portal alone, but I mean, it's got Half-Life Episode 2 on it, and it's got the extra parts as well. It's absolutely brilliant. Sorry, it's got Half-Life 2, Episode 2, and Episode 1 as well. It's brilliant. It's very, very good. Yeah, it is. It's very good. Battlefield Bad Company 2. Played the original to death. Both kind of single player and multiplayer. The sequel's really, really cool. I've just not got into it online yet. Hey, talking to Portal. There we go. Portal 2. one of the the finest releases last year. Brilliant voice acting, wicked sense of humour, and it just does really weird stuff. And it introduces new mechanics to the the already successful formula, and they work really well. Fallout 3. Again, I'm halfway through and just quite finish. I will do it at some point. What's this game? I've never heard of this. What is it? Yeah, classic. What can I say? Absolute classic. Dynasty Warriors Gundam, really showing its age. Not graphically that good, but it's an alright Dynasty Warriors game. Left 4 Dead 2. I've had so much fun on the multiplayer on this. It's a really cool game. They took everything that was interesting about the original Left 4 Dead and made it work with this. It's brilliant. Rock Band. Huge fan of the Guitar Hero series, but this is, I don't know, something different and something kind of quite cool about Rock Band. So it was good to play. One of the few games I've 1,000 pointed, and that's Splatterhouse. Worth buying just if you want to play the originals, to be honest, because they're all unlockables. But the game itself I really quite enjoyed. I'm in a minority there, but I thought it was really cool. Beatles Rock Band. I've rabbited on about this before. I picked this up very cheap, and it actually got me into the Beatles, which I hated them for years, or didn't hate them's a strong word, but disliked them for a long time, and then played this through and kind of really got into their music, and for that I'm always going to be grateful to that game. Mega Drive Collection, all those classics for 12 quid, which was what I paid for it. It's worth every penny. That's a great compilation. Guitar Hero Metallica. Enough said, really. This. BioShock 2. This is part of the limited edition version, and I think the shiny cover is kind of unique to that. That'll appear on a later video, the full package. But again, probably a minority when I think that this is a really good game. It got good reviews, but I mean a lot of people are critical of it because it wasn't as revolutionary as the original. King of Fighters 12, hard as nails, amazing animation, worth picking up if you can get it cheap. Amped 3, cool snowboarding game. I can't say any more than that really. Crackdown 2, huge fan of the original Crackdown. The sequel is not as good in my opinion, but still a lot of fun. It kind of expands that kind of mad superhero premise, but the fact that the main character seems a little bit anonymous is a bit crap, really, to be honest. Borderlands 2, pre-ordered the second one the other day. I've sunk so much time into this game, and it was a game that I bought and left on my shelf for about 6 months, and then actually started playing it and was absolutely blown away by it. You can pick the complete edition of this up really cheap at the moment, and it's worth every penny. There's so much game in this. Army of 2, that's a copy of my mate's. 2-player game, alright, glitchy as fuck. Takes a bit getting used to, but it's actually alright game. And just a points thingy there, points box. So we're getting onto the home straight now. Onchenbara, whatever it's called. Ropey looking but quite cool kind of slash 'em up. It's pretty average, but it's good fun. Bulletstorm Epic Edition, another game that kind of got a little bit. I know there's a bit of a backlash against it. It's a cool game. I really enjoyed that. Lots of kind of unique deaths and unique kind of it's a unique take on the first-person shooter. Grand Theft Auto 4. This is release day version. Is this? I had to have this, and I'll be the same with the next Grand Theft as well. The first Grand Theft I played through properly, to be honest. Great game. Blast Blue there. Love the series. This is a really, really good game. You know, beat 'em up wise, it's one of the best. This is the limited edition version. I'll show you the rest of the contents in a future video. Fear 2. Not played very much of this. First one was a chore to get through, but it was still quite good. This seems to have improved everything on the original. Castlevania, Lords of Shadow. Absolutely love this game. It's the first 3D Castlevania that's any good in my opinion. It's quite hardcore as well. There's lots for you to kind of unlock and do basically, you know, side quest wise. Brilliant game. As you'll see, it's a game I picked up cheap, and it's cameo Elements of Power, £3. Plays, I think it's a bit like an N64 game, kind of like the way it plays, you know, kind of graphically, but it's a fun little game, you know, £3, well worth it. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Vegas. I couldn't really get into this. I was going to play this kind of like multiplayer with my mate, but it never kind of like panned out. It's alright. It's overly complicated, just too many controls for my liking. I want something a bit more arcadey, really. Oh, here we go. Dead Space, a game I played to death. Love this game. Criminally still haven't played the sequel, even though I've got it. But, you know, one of my favourite games of all time. Medal of Honor. Quite a good one-player game. Again, the characters are a bit anonymous in it for me. Multiplayer looks fantastic on that, actually. There we go, Warriors of Orochi, that's what I was trying to think of earlier. This really kind of got me playing into Dynasty Warriors games. Multiple playthroughs of this. Really, really cool game. And it was dirt cheap as well. I really recommend it. The sequel's supposed to be even better. There we go. Wolfenstein. Nazi zombies. What more can I say? World War II weapons. It's brilliant. I really enjoyed this. Again, another one that's kind of quite, you know, seen as being quite average. Blue Dragon, one that my wife got into. She was my girlfriend when she was playing this. But she really liked this. She didn't finish it, but she kind of, yeah, she did really kind of quite appreciate that. Project Sylphid, another early. It's a space battle game. It's an early game for the 360. It's all right. It's not great, but again, pick it up cheap. It's all right. It's a spiritual successor to Sylphid, the shoot 'em up. And this is the last section now. Another game here that's not mine, it's my brother's, but I've played it to death. Burnout Paradise. What a game. It is cool. It kind of changed that whole Burnout formula. I kind of wish sometimes that they didn't change it as much, but when I actually play this, it's great. It's almost free roaming. Pure game never really got into. It was alright, but it's a bit derivative of MotorStorm really. And I preferred that. Ninja Gaiden 2, brilliant game. Tough as old boots, but after playing the new Ninja Gaiden, this is what they should have based the new game on. Lost Odyssey, another game I've not played very much. One I'm gonna play at some point. Looks amazing, looks absolutely amazing, but you know, still not a chance to put some time into that, because I would have to put some time aside. Resident Evil 6. You know, again, another game that gets a lot of criticism. It has got control issues. Resident Evil 5, yeah. Still, it has got control issues, but I still think it's cool. I still think it's a worthy addition to the series. I'm not keen on the first lot of Resident Evil games. Actually, I don't think it gets interesting from 4 for me. But that's just me. I'm in a minority. Sega Rally, another underrated Sega game, like Virtua Fighter. It's a really cool. It is a really cool arcade rally game. You know, it's well worth picking up. Ghost Recon 2, alright. Again, a bit overly complicated for my tastes, control wise. The last game I'm going to show you is Bayonetta. This is part of the limited edition set. It's exactly the same as the normal edition. But again, another cool Japanese mad slash 'em up. I really quite enjoyed it. Lots of kind of like homages to the Sega universe as well, and Sega games. You know, it plays on their history. So definitely one worth picking up. So that's it for this video, and I'll continue in video 2. Thank you all for watching. Goodbye.